as far as the women's doubles draw is concerned, this is from the top half of the draw. And you can see that the #1 seeds in this half of the draw, Liu Shengshu and Tang Ning, were recent winners last week of the Arctic Open. That was a Super 500 event on the HSBC BWF World Tour, whereas this is a tier higher at a 750 level. We have got former champion in this section of the draw, and that's Jia Yifan, who won with her previous partner, Chen Qingcheng.
Their opponents from Denmark, Thygesen.
So the Olympic bronze medalists and the Danes of Fruergaard and Thygesen are playing in their last ever tournament together. Olympic quarter-finalists, of course, and this match is in fact a repeat of that Olympic quarter-final. And so the Danes will be out for revenge for their defeat in Paris 2024. And it was a very interesting scenario in Paris because, in fact, the Danes topped their group and the Japanese pair came second in their group. This, I can tell you, will be a fifth meeting between these two pairs, and honours are shared. 2 wins apiece, and it was that Olympic quarter-final. It was the last time they met, and it was 21-7, 21-12 in just 39 minutes.
You will serve. Which side do you want? Who is going to receive? Okay.
So the Danes have won the toss of the coin and have chosen to serve. Well, it is their first tournament since they lost to their opponents of today in that Olympic quarter-final. They've taken a little bit of a break, and then they're going to take a permanent break from each other, dissolving the partnership. I'm going to be asking Steve Pedersen a little bit more in a moment when the match starts. But this is Nami Matsuyama, who is 26 years of age. That equates to about 5'5½". Currently #4 on the world ranking, but they did spend 28 consecutive weeks as world #2s from the beginning of November 2 years ago. Chiharu Shida is 27 from Akita, and they lost in the final last year. They were the #5 seeds when they lost out to Chen Qingcheng and Jia Yifan. It's actually their 4th consecutive Denmark Open, and as one of the seeds, they got a bye in the first round. And I can tell you, we only had 26 pairs entered into the women's doubles, and of course it's a draw of 32. Maiken Fruergaard is 29 years of age, and this is her home city. Comes from Odense, and she and her partner are currently 23, but did spend 7 weeks across 3 different spells at #14 on the world ranking. Their best at the Denmark Open was a quarter-final 4 years ago when they lost out to another Japanese pair, Matsumoto and Nagahara. She's the older of the two, as you can see, 33 years of age, and she's the taller of the two at about 5'8". They played against their teammates, Kusk and Schultz. They actually had to come from 14-17 down in that opening game, so they won 7 of the last 8 points to close it out, 21-18, 21-15. So our umpire for this one is Eddie Rasinga from Sri Lanka, and the service judge Seamus Halpin from Ireland. So I was telling you that it's the first tournament since the Olympic Games from Fruergaard and Thygesen. And for their opponents, it's the fourth tournament since the Olympic Games. They reached the quarter-final of the Japan Open, lost in the round of 16 in Korea, so they'd had a bye in the first round, so they didn't actually win any matches. Same scenario in China. Second round loss, so they had a bye in the first round. So they lost their first match played in Changzhou in the China Open. But they did reach 3 finals in 3 tournaments played. French Open, the All England, those were 2 finals in 2 weeks, and the Singapore Open as well. So the Japanese pair certainly started the year, the early stages of the year, very well indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Sara Thygesen and Maiken Fruergaard, Denmark. And on my left, Nami Matsuyama and Chiharu Shida, Japan. Sara Thygesen to serve to Chiharu Shida. Love all. Play.
So it is the Danes in their last ever tournament together who will get this second round women's doubles match underway against the Olympic bronze medalists. A repeat of that Olympic quarter-final. Now Steen Pedersen sitting alongside me as always. Steen, I promised you were going to give us more information about why the Danes are splitting up. They've played together for an awfully long time. This is their 12th Denmark Open together.
Yeah, they've played almost ever since Maiken Fruergaard entered the national team, I think. And I think it's just sort of like sometimes you feel that it's time that something new needs to happen, and I think it's been clear that that the Danish women's doubles, or the women's double, because until now, as of recent times, it's only been Sara Thygesen and Maiken Fruergaard who's been representing in Denmark in the women's doubles. I know that Maja Surov and Julia Finn-Ibsen, they're also into the second round here, but they're not on the national team and not in that pool of players that could be considered for new partnerships. So it was always in the cards that something needed to happen. And also given the age difference between the 2 Danish players, it's hard to imagine Sara Thygesen play the Olympics in LA in 2028. She would then be
37.
37.
So it's over.
3-2. Wasn't the best of serves from Shida.
4.
Yeah, she knows it.
And it leaves us a little bit in the dark in terms of this match here, what to expect, because the Danes haven't played since the Olympics, and how much have they actually practiced together now that they've been looking to find new combinations and so on. And as you mentioned in the opening, Jill, then Shida and Matsuyama, they've not at all got the game going at the same level as we saw in the Olympics in the first half of the year.
I thought it was very interesting that Maiken Fruergaard, certainly in the information I was given in Paris at the Olympic Games, was that her 2 ambitions in life was to reach the quarter-final of the Olympics, which indeed she did, and to join the police force.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Good gracious, Steve.
Yeah.
That's the first for me knowing something about the Danes that you don't know. You're usually giving me all the inside scoop.
I'll be more concentrated on driving if I see that she's nearby then.
Yeah.
It's well played.
Very well played. There is one thing that bothers me a little bit, though, Steen, about, I know we've chuckled at her ambitions, but having reached the All England quarter-final, psychologically, from your coach's point of view, it's sort of like, well, we've done what we wanted to achieve, and yet that was a big chance to get to the semi-final.
Yeah, that's true. And that's where people are different, but it shows something about the self-picture, the way I see it. And some people, they take it as, okay, now I've reached this, so that's a sign that I could go for more.
Yeah.
Because I can still develop.
Some might say that it's a realistic goal, and that a semi-final or a medal perhaps was not realistic. But, the thing is, we see it often in sport, don't we? And especially in badminton, a player builds themselves up, they look at the draw and they say, well, second round, I'm going to have to play so-and-so. And all their focus is on winning that second round match. And they almost forget to look beyond that and prepare for the quarter-final and then the semi-final.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I think it's really important to have the goals for development and for process rather than significant result goals.
Yeah,
I think you can have them, but they've got to be less significant than the goals for the process. And I tend to think that people that do well are the ones that are constantly aimed at learning.
That was completely mistimed from Shida.
Service over. 6-7.
Yeah. Of course, the drift, if you haven't been with us either yesterday or earlier today, the shuttle is flying faster, going towards the far side of the court as we all look down during the rallies. That's a nice defensive.
Yeah.
That's a beauty. That's an absolute beauty. Steps into this defence. It is Fruergaard and moves forward. Wonderful. Oh, another mishit, this time from Matsuyama.
They're normally very good in terms of rotational play, the two Japanese players, but so far here in the first game we haven't seen a lot of that. I feel that when Matsuyama's at the rear court, then Shida, she's way too close to the net in her stance.
Oh.
It's a difficult one.
Well, they both were prepared to challenge. The line judge called it good. So I'm not quite sure who has challenged. Indeed, it is the Japanese pair who have challenged. Well, the instant review certainly taking their time.
Yeah.
What the line? So the Danes go into the lead. First time they've led since the very first rally of the match when they were 1-love up. Good flick.
Service over. 9-all.
Good pressure. So much for my theory about they should rotate a little bit more here. Nicely packed in the backhand side. A bit of a loose serve again.
That's a nice shot. I like that from Shida. They don't look particularly relaxed and happy, do they?
No, they look relaxed, but not happy.
Do you think they look relaxed?
Yeah.
I think they're a bit full of tension, especially Shida.
Yeah. But then the intensity level is perhaps what I'm alluding to. Good play.
That's super. So it is the Olympic bronze medalists that go to the big game interval with a 1-point advantage. Good start to this second round women's doubles match. That's a beauty. I like that.
Jeg tror sagtens, I kan spille, hvis I beslutter jer for den. Og det gælder faktisk jer begge to. De pakker helt vildt. Ja, ikke? Så skub.
Specielt når vi laver flytning.
Ja, og det er jo ikke sådan en, jeg vil have, I skal sådan finde det. Bare skub den over den anden side. Okay? Vi spiller pisse godt. Ja, det eneste måske sådan, vi bliver kastet lidt rundt i baljen, når vi slår lidt for hårdt, synes jeg. Men så måske nogle gange sætte den høje smash med også, ikke? Fordi det er meget lige ned i catcher hårdt. Right? Og så er det et mega kort løft, så går du altså bare til den. Ja, ikke?
So 11-10 as play resumes. Repeat of the Olympic quarter-final match. Well anticipated.
Oi.
Yeah.
Good interception by Matsuyama. That was a good rally. Was it the longest, perhaps?
Haven't had many long rallies so far, have we? Yeah, she did well on that. Using all of her height and rack it up. Indeed, you're right, Steve. 40 shots, the longest so far.
Oi, oi, oi.
Well,
11-12.
I think that Thygesen was slightly lucky that she didn't get faulted for moving before the serve was struck. She was on her way back. Ooh, that was going wide of the centre line, I reckon.
Good variation from Matsuyama. The Danes had in their coaching break emphasized a lot on what they should do when that lift comes, but all they planned for was the straight smash, and suddenly mixing it up with a cross. That's brilliant by Matsuyama.
That's just long of the back line.
Over 12-13.
Yeah, well, Shida's just getting warned for celebrating, which is being interpreted as trying to influence the line judge, but the line judge wasn't having any of it and called it as it was, which was out.
Good defense from Fruergaard. That was what they planned to do, the Danes, but there was a Japanese player cross this time. It was a good smash placement to the right hip of Thygesen. It's very difficult to block that straight if you play it with the forehand return.
Yeah, that's the drift coming into play.
Oy.
Nice block. Yeah. It looks to me, Steen, as if it's absolutely imperative that the Danes are on the attack, because every time it switches round and the Japanese pair get on the attack, there seems to be ways through.
Yeah, and here it was in the transition phase where the smash from Thygesen was not sharp enough, in my opinion, and it was turned around by the Japanese, creating loads of problems for the Danes. So I think they can go to defense, but it has to be before they're forced to play defense, so that they can get the right length and height on their lifts. Otherwise, it's really dangerous, as you say.
Oh, it's a big gap.
60-13.
Good play.
Yeah, it's very nice, isn't it?
It seemed like
13.
that was the one shot that she anticipated. She reached it so high, Chiharu Shida.
Four straight points.
18-13.
They have the momentum now.
My goodness me. How on earth did she do that? Was
Did
that
it go over?
It did go over. That's an extraordinary shot.
I thought it was a mistake. It was definitely not on purpose.
No, it certainly wasn't on purpose because they apologised after the rally. Well,
20. Game point.
6 straight points
13.
and 7 game point opportunities for the number 3 seeds, Matsuyama and Shida.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining. 12 tap. Slash.
Service over.
Well, that one didn't go over.
20.
But most likely the first game is gone for the Danes.
Yeah.
Shida and Matsuyama, they steadied the ship
Yeah,
after the interval.
and you can't give away 6 straight points in the second half of a game and not expect to be in a spot of bother.
Oh, yeah, that's a beauty.
And on their second time of asking, opening game 21-14 in favour of the Olympic bronze medalists, Naomi Matsuyama and Chiharu Shida. 21 minutes for game number 1.
Ja, det er altså cifre, der lyver det her.
Jeg synes faktisk, vi er med.
Jamen, vi er da pisse meget med. Der er 3-4 point omkring 14-15 stykker. Men ellers så er det også rigtig meget på redninger, og rigtig mange heldige baller for dem også. Vi spiller skide godt. Der er bare for mange dueller, vi ikke lige får gjort færdige, og det er også fordi, de er bare pisse gode til at få en mere over. Ja, ikke? Og det ved vi. Måske i defensiven. Jeg synes, det handler... Ja, det, specielt når vi tager farten af. Men jeg synes også, vi har også slået dem lidt varme i defensiven. Lad os nu lige se, om vi kan få lidt mere bid i det den her vej, om der er lidt mere guf i vores angreb. Men med ikke andet, så vil jeg sige, når vi tilspiller os til små chancer, så kan jeg godt tænke mig, at vi slår lidt mere vinklet herinde.
Lidt mere
Altså, vinklet.
vinklet.
Ja, altså man sætter nogle flere vinkler på, sæt nogle flere grøfter på. Gå lidt mere efter det. Okay? Og lad os lige starte med at gå ret hårdt i vores angreb og se, om der ikke er lidt mere piv den her vej.
Ja, så vi
Okay?
vil gerne have flere hold.
Ja, det vil jeg gerne. Men jeg vil stadig gerne tænke, hvor vi slår hende. Jeg synes faktisk, at midten har været okay.
Ja, det synes jeg også.
Det er mest det dernede i catcheren, der spiller sig ad.
Ja, jeg skal bare mene dem.
Ja. Prøv at høre nu skal vi spille løftene, så er vi nødt til at virkelig at lægge og føle boldene derud og fedte dem derud, for ellers så sejler de altså ud. Okay. Nej, slet ikke. Og det er især i returen. De kan altså godt komme hurtigt ned mod hjørnerne. Godt, du går til sidst her med forhånden. Udeluk den kryds, så du ikke har den. Gå på dem. Ja, på Uli.
Second game, level, play.
So the number 3 seeds and Olympic bronze medalists Naomi Matsuyama and Chiharu Shida, one game to the goods against Fruergaard and Sarah Thygesen. Danes playing in their last ever tournament together. Now, there seemed a fair amount of instruction there for coach.
Yeah, they've been working together, those three, for many years. So normally, the more you work together, the more information you can take in. I think the main theme was that they actually played quite well in the first game, was a little bit unlucky on some key situations, and they wanted more attack here in the second game, which is in line with what we've sort of seen, that that's necessary for the Danes. They cannot, in the long term, play defense against Matsuyama and Shida. And the interesting thing was that Jesper Fruergaard, he called for more angled attacks in terms of crosses. Felt that in between the two Japanese players were also quite okay. It was the mindless smashes straight down the racket that caused trouble for the Danes. Oy.
That's her second service error.
And that service movement doesn't look good from Chihiro Shida. On the other hand, Maiken Fruergaard is one of the players that, in my opinion, that has benefited mostly from the new service rules with the 115 centimeters, where the racket head doesn't have to point downwards. Had that been the old service rules, that service motion from Fruergaard, that would have been illegal. And she was not a strong server back then, but now she's actually doing quite well.
Well, I can't believe that was unsighted on the line judge.
It was well in.
It was miles in. Anyway, the umpire made the call anyway. Steen, I want to just go back to this, you know, they're swapping partnerships, the Danes, and, you know, bring in the fact that only one pair from Denmark has won the women's doubles title here this century.
Yeah.
And that was 23 years ago. Rikke Olsen and Helena Kierkegaard. The Olympic silver medalists from Rio, they lost in the final 11 years ago. They never actually won this title.
No.
And what I'm sort of thinking is, you know, okay, I think probably most people accept that Sarah Thygesen, at the age of 37, come Los Angeles Olympics, may be past her prime.
Yeah.
And therefore, you've got to search for a new pair that can possibly do it. But, you know, you made the point, they've basically been the only pair on the World Tour that have been challenging.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to bring in a youngster that has no experience, really, at this sort of level.
Yes. Totally unexperienced. And we know that Maiken Fruergaard is going to play with Natasha Antonisen.
Yeah.
But she hasn't played at this level.
So is it partly to bring on the younger players, or do the Danes actually see Fruergaard with her new partner being able to challenge in the worlds the way this pair has challenged?
I don't think that's the main goal. I think the main goal is to find something that's possible to work with going forward. The women's doubles department in Denmark is not in the best stage right now. There's not a lot of pairs, and the pairs that are not playing that well. So it's about finding someone who can lead and who can be a goal for some of the other young players to say, okay, this is the pair we need to beat, and still maintain some of the experience that Maiken Fruergaard has got, so that doesn't go to waste.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back level, 5-all.
And that's the problem situation. Oh, that's a challenge. Yeah.
Chihiro Shida challenges all out.
I think all the players were surprised by that call.
Warning.
Here we go. Was out.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining. Service over. 6-5.
ドライブクロスに落とすとか。
Second time. Next time. Yeah.
So the umpire just having a word with Shida because that's the second time that she's
Play.
called out in celebration before the line judge has made the call.
That's in.
Unsided.
So it's the umpire who's asking for Hawkeye to adjudicate for him because the umpire is calling the front service line.
Yeah.
Clearly in.
7-5. Both of you. Nami. This is the last time I'm warning. No impersonalizing. Yeah. Play.
Yeah, good smash. Opened up a three-point cushion.
5.
Ooh, was that?
That.
That wasn't. Yeah, I thought it might have been a double hit.
Yeah.
Certainly wasn't called. Let's have a closer look. Ooh, difficult to tell.
Yeah.
Didn't see the shuttle move that much.
And the umpire must be absolutely certain to
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah.
Oy.
That's well left.
Service over. 6.
I think if I were the Danes, I would challenge Chihara Shida a bit at the moment, especially on the front court.
Right from the start, she was been mistiming shots.
Yeah.
She hasn't looked settled.
No. It's gone long.
That's just long.
Service over. 10-6.
And one for two men's singles. From Singapore, Loken Yu.
Oh, that's very difficult. On this side here.
What, lifting with the drift?
Yeah, Jesper Holgaard said you've got to play with touch and sense a little bit how much you can give it.
From Hong Kong, Lee Yu.
It's going wide. And it is the Danes that go to the mid-game interval with a 4-point advantage. Japanese pair
Jeg
having
synes
won
altid, det er
the
gode, de der prikker i
opening
leften, vi
game,
har,
so
fordi dem kan de ikke komme ind under, men der er så meget blæs i dem, ikke? Både, ja, altså, jeg lige var forberedt på nu her, at de nok ikke synes, det er sjovt at være i defensiven. Vi har klappet dem ned på den hele tiden. Så når det er, at de bruger baglinjen, vil de nok trykke lidt mere hurtigt rundt, og så vil de vende på os. Ikke? De vil nok bruge den korte opsamling noget mere for at tvinge til at løfte. Korte returer skal vi være forberedt på. Okay? Det skal vi i hvert fald lige være klar på, ikke? Men når vi server her stadig tight her, netmanden eller serveren dækker net, tænker net hele tiden. Okay? Hvad på det?
Players back on court.
Ja.
Nami back on court. Play.
so 11-7 the lead for Fruergaard and Thygesen. Anything new from Jesper Holgaard?
No, I'm satisfied with the way the Danes played the attack. Felt that the Japanese probably wasn't too content about their own defense and might try and chase the Danes around a little bit more. Also, so far content with the Danes' defense, just getting it past the front court player. That's a good opportunity there.
Oh, that's brilliant. What a super shot.
Service over. 12-8.
You know, Steen, Japanese pairs, 3 of them, have won 4 World Tour titles in the Super Series World Tour era. Mayuki Maeda and Satoko Suetsuna 14 years ago. Then the former Olympic champions, Matsutomo and Takahashi, that was 8 years ago, and 6 years ago, Fukushima and Hirota. But my fun fact about that is that all 4 times that Japanese pairs have won in the Super Series and World Tour era, they've been the #1 seeds.
Wow. Yeah. They pushed through, but that means that they can pack their bags, Matsuyama and Shida, or at least go for second. Right now, second seems pretty good.
Oh, that's a lovely block.
Yeah.
That really is super.
10-12.
And this is a situation where the Danes are weakest at the moment, with Sara Thygesen at the backcourt and Fruergaard at the front, and that's where Fruergaard is going to get more firepower from Natasha Antonisen. She's going to lose something on the front court in terms of experience and reading of the game.
11-12.
If I were the Japanese, I think I would flick Sara Thygesen.
And the back level. 4 straight points. All that hard work undone by the home players.
That service return, I mean, what was the idea? She could hope to intercept that one. That really wasn't of high quality. That's well played.
Service over. 13-12.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, looking Singapore. And on my left, recently, Hong Kong, China. Looking you to serve, novel. Right.
Play. Super play.
Service over.
First cross lift to Fruergaard and then cross flat and moving forward by Shida.
Yeah.
I don't understand the Japanese service situation. They have a clear advantage if they put Thygesen on the backcourt. I don't know, have they flicked at her at all in this match?
I
haven't paid attention enough.
No, I haven't either. That's a nice block. Oh, that can't have been long by much.
50-30.
Well, they've never actually won a World Tour event Fruergaard and Thygesen, 2 finals. Indonesian Masters back in 2020 when they had 2 match points against Poli and Rahayu, the former Olympic champions, in the final.
Yeah, that's, in my opinion, the best tournament they've played together with the Olympics.
I agree. Because in the last 16 as well, they beat Fukushima and Hirota. And the semi-final beat Matsuyama and Takahashi.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic set of results. The only other World Tour event they've been in the final was last year in the USA Open. That was a 300 event. And that was one of the early tournament wins for Liu Shengshu and Tang Ning, beating the Danes in the final. 15 all.
This it.
Service over. 60-50.
Well, this is the first match in the arena. Shida and Matsuyama is playing.
This year.
Yeah. There's been a couple of mistimings. Also that shot that at least I didn't notice went over in the first game.
Yeah, I made the observation fairly early on that they didn't look very relaxed or comfortable on court, the Japanese pair.
Yeah.
Service over. 60-17.
Back level. And obviously this now a crucial stage of this match. 17 all in the second game.
Shida. Play.
Long of the back line, and as I say, at this crucial stage, now the Japanese pair go into the lead.
What kind of shot was that?
I've no idea.
It looked like one of my golf shots.
I've got to have a game of golf with you then, Steve, if you play shots like that.
I hit a lot, I can tell you.
18 all. Wide of the mark. 2 points away from the quarter-final for a third time for Matsuyama and Shida. Nice, that is really nice. That was going in a downward direction all the way, but there was no power on it, so it landed past the front court player, but in front of the rear court player. 2 match point opportunities for the Olympic bronze medalists. And indeed, they convert on their first opportunity. 21-14, 21-18 in a match lasting 44 minutes. And the Fruergaard-Thygesen partnership comes to an end in the second round here of the Denmark Open. They've served Denmark well, as I was saying, 2 World Tour finals, 4 European Championship bronze medalists, and overall 3 titles as a pair, all international challenger events. But they're getting a wonderful reception from the fans. In fact, some of the fans, the majority of the fans, are giving them a standing ovation. All the fans in front of us, that's wonderful to see. Olympic quarter-finalists, unexpected quarter-finalists. And whatever the new pairings, it's quite a task to live up to the quality that we've seen on occasions from this pair. But they've left the tournament in the second round beaten by Matsuyama and Shida. 21-14, 21-18 in 44 minutes. Welcome back to Odense and second round action here at the Denmark Open. After that women's doubles, we stay with home interest in the women's singles because Mia Blichfeldt is in action against another Olympic medalist, bronze medalist in the